Today, we do have a little bit of a treat. We're watching Ace's TheMista, somebody we haven't seen for quite a while, at least in tournament play. This was one of his games from the Champions League group stages, his first one versus Chasing the Suns. This was the first series he's played. This was his second match, and I just think this was an absolute clinical performance by TheMista on his Zeus, and we're going to see how he does. So I think he played Isis, Zeus, and Fuji. If you want to watch the other ones, Boyd did cast them, so I'll link it in the YouTube video if I remember. If not, yell at me. But we'll be watching just the second game from his point of view to see how he works this Zeus. Now, historically, Zeus was his best god on the original game, and actually quite a lot of people think Zeus isn't very good right now, or Greeks in general, but TheMista did pick 2 Greeks for his lineup, and I think there's a couple of things which have kind of got unnoticed about how good the Greeks are. I think one of the biggest things in the last patch was getting to the heroic age and getting this Odysseus out. The Odysseus is now just better. Looks like TheMista has a little bit of idle time in his town center. I think maybe thought he had auto queue on, but then didn't. Happens. It even happens to the best of us. So just in case that happens to you, you know it happens to him too. But I think that was a pretty big change. There's been a lot of changes throughout Retold to the heroes, and I think they're in a pretty good spot now at dealing with myth units, which Amaterasu does want to throw at you in general to begin with. She does want to do the those weasels, send them towards you, use that solar shield. So if you have a unit that can deal with them easily, it's going to be a much nicer time. Let's see if there's any useful relics. We've got myth unit special attack recharge time. That's good for centaurs or minotaurs, whichever one the Zeus really wants to go for in the start of the classical age. Then heroes deal more damage to myth units. This would be a sick one for TheMista to get if he can. And then ranged soldiers, ballista, myth units, whatever, costs less. So Toxodes are good. Does that affect centaurs and stuff? Yes, it does. So centaurs and manticores actually, which is pretty good. So TheMista deciding he wants 2 more villagers, going for not the earliest advanced time. He's actually choosing to do an extra one. So normally when TheMista plays, or historically, he likes to get a really early uptime, get his 2 heroes out if that's what he's playing. If he's playing some other civ, then he'll get out whatever early kind of units you can build, put some light pressure on, and then do something off the back of that, whether or not that's a town center or just into more pressure, into teching up, maybe going to the heroic age, you know, that sort of thing. And that is probably how he'll be playing his Zeus normally, but deciding to go a little bit later, so he wants a little bit more eco in that way. So he does have the 2 gold mine spawn. So 2 gold mine spawns normally mean second town centers are better, just because you can sit inside your base for a little bit longer. It's also seen there's a couple of gold mines he's spotted already. Decided to go for the goats rather than scouting the base, or his side, let's say, rather than the base. But he does spot his settlement has some caribou on it. So this is looking pretty good. It's also got an auroch on it. Hasn't even scouted more than that. He knows that there's some food here, there's some food here. So this town center is going to be a pretty good option. If he wanted to, he could walk out to this one, but this is a little bit harder to defend with the caribou being kind of out the way, the gold mine being out of the way. This one I doubt has a gold mine on it. It could spawn one around here, but we will see. And the Pegasus already over here does spot Chasing the Suns Miko collecting some bits, and and the weasel actually gets bolted before the tree goes down. So TheMista is absolutely on it, and that tree will not regen a weasel. Oh, it doesn't, does it? No. I say he's just building a second one. So that means that one of them has basically gone down for free. Normally this keeps respawning too, and one of them is already dealt with. The Minotaur coming over here to deal with this weasel. And I think whenever you go through this weasel lady, you just need to whack down the tree as soon as possible. There's no reason not to. It isn't like you get anything for saving it for a little bit later. And we do have Heracles out, we have the Minotaur, and they will be dealing with this Kama Itachi coming across, even getting the snare off with the fast unit of the Catacopper. So that one will go down. That will go back in the tree, but it means that it's been sniped before it can even get close to the villagers and use that solar shield, and that allows these villagers to come and walk over to this town center for free, basically. And not just that, it means that he can even put some pressure on, because he knows that this one's going to be respawning at some point. Maybe there'll be another one coming for him. Could send the Jason back if he is worried about it. There is another one in. Could have probably had the Jason in. So it actually cancels the town center, because he knows that if the solar shield goes onto this weasel, then it's pretty much lights out and you can lose the game on the spot, basically. So I don't want to risk that for no reason. Looks like he is going to be able to deal with that with a villager. While this is happening, getting good damage done. The Miko on this side going down. It looks like one villager, at least, I think it was just one villager, will fall for the TheMista, but there is a retaliation villager or two going down for chasing the sun. So yes, he's taken quite a lot of damage. There's been a lot of idle time. Didn't manage to get the town center when he wanted to, but playing around it, making sure. Probably could have had the Jason back here. Maybe he just wasn't aware that there was going to be another weasel out, because he thought the bolt did a good enough job. But these things are pretty cheap, so they're only 150 food, and you definitely have the favor with Amaterasu to spam 2 of those out pretty quick. The weasel is going to be able to come over here. Is he going to put some kind of building block here? I think he went to, but maybe the weasel was a little bit too fast. And while this is going on, the Heracles is still getting some good damage done on this side. Is going to be forced out by Samurai Naginata Rider. We'll be able to slowly slice him down. But I mean, Heracles, he's a big lad. He can take that for quite a while. And the weasel trying to get something done. So the Kitsune does spot the TheMista's town center going up. But the Kitsune doesn't do enough damage. The Susano one does slightly more, because it has the divine damage, but still, it just doesn't really do much to these villagers. They can just go on passive stance. If you don't know how to do that, it's by default it's Shift S, and it just means that you don't stop building, you don't stop gathering. Your villagers will carry on. Even sending back the low HP one we did see as well. Onimusha coming in, which is a little bit scary, but the town center does go up, and played around it pretty much perfectly. Chasing the sun, putting some good damage on, though. Definitely didn't let the TheMista get that for free like he would have. And it's in a pretty even state right now. So the Pegasus is kind of just chilling for the time being. I imagine moving this in some kind of patrol would be a pretty good shout, just to see when some of these units are coming over to put more pressure on the Zeus. Actually, the Kama Itachi here, the 9 HP Heracles, there's so much dancing around, and actually forces out the solar shield. It's going to make the villagers run back, but I think that's maybe not the best solar shield. Does headbutt him towards the villagers, though. That's not the most ideal. If the special was up, it could have actually killed a couple of those villagers. Moving this one away, so it'll only be one that goes down rather than all of them taking the damage. So, nice play. Headbutt probably wasn't ideal, but maybe was expecting the headbutt to do a bit more damage. And then the Pegasus is back in, just trying to see if the settlement is being grabbed, just so the TheMista knows what he's up against. If Chasing the Sun is basically matching the TC, or whether or not he needs to put a bit more into defense. And it's a nice little cheeky raids with just one unit, basically. The Kitsune isn't there for the damage. He's just there to speed up the Naginata Rider. Forced back in. A lot of idle time forced by just a couple of units here, but the TheMista defending pretty well with just his 3 units. Does he have any buildings up? It's like Chasing the Sun is trying to take out a sentry tower, and there is one military barracks, but nothing actually being built from that one. And Apollo is pre-queued in this TC. Watchtowers are up, so it's going to be much harder for the Samurai to take them out. Samurai don't have much pierce armor, so they're not the best at diving TCs, and the TheMista again just baiting all of these units in. Needs to watch out for that Onimusha, and the Heracles is going to be able to snare her up to just scare out the Minotaur. And it's just like, how'd you get this much value off 3 units and a stationary building, but managing to do it so well? The Minotaur can come back in because the hero is actually this side. The Heracles will be able to take out that hero potentially. Nice snare up again by the Naginata Rider, pushes everything away. I think the Jason did manage to go down. I think we saw him die. Oh no, he's 1 HP back in the main town center. We see another solar shield attack, maybe a little bit late on the retreat, but didn't manage to get any kills there. Kind of the main benefit of these weasels is that you can just keep coming back and just keep coming back. So even though they don't kill anything, you can then get another special off and another special off, and that's when you end up getting the kills. One attack on its own doesn't really do too much. So if you're up against, I don't know, anyone that can heal, if you've got Egyptians or Healing Spring or something like that, then it's a lot less effective than against a Zeus here, where you just can't really heal these up until you get to Apollo. Then you can eventually get that tech to get Temple of Healing in, but then you need loads of temples, so it's a big investment rather than just a Egyptian priest or something like that. Like, the granary is finished up on this side. There wasn't actually that much food there, so we decided to go on wood on this side. Some food still in the main base. Built in a very defensive way here to actually protect his gold mine. Still has this gold mine, plenty of goats, so nothing to really worry about. And you see the eco here for the Mista. So much on wood, a crazy amount, and the six villagers praying. Now, what does he want here? He wants Temple of Healing straight away. So we said that this is a great option against these kind of small little bits of damage. I don't know what the radius of that is. Does it actually say 15-meter aura? I don't know. I don't know what 15 meters is for this game. I would imagine something like this. I'd imagine it's something like a Healing Spring kind of radius, so pretty nice. That one will be coming in a second. And then the Jason, absolutely zooming back up. Okay, that tech is insane. Why is it better than Healing Spring? And Samurai again trying to get some good damage done, but the building placement means the Samurais have to walk all the way around or go around this way, but there's already houses up. And this is exactly how you want to play in terms of putting your buildings down. 5 Hippaspis coming in. Best answer you've got to Samurai. Chasing the Sun has already shared that he wants those Samurais. Amaterasu gets all the Samurai upgrades, so it does make sense. Also, obviously, we don't know this being the Mista, but they are already pre-queued. That is what she wants. Does Amaterasu. And then some other upgrades. Olympian Parentage, so good for getting these tanky heroes online. And then just more Manticores. There's also a Pegasus back here. It's actually spotted some commoners on this back side. Not a usual thing to have some stray farms, but there are some. And the Weasel, Naginata Rider, Samurai coming forward. And how many Manticores are we up to? Okay, we got 2. I guess they just take a while to come out. And they are such a good defensive unit. Just deal so much splash damage. They have three projectiles, 33 pierce damage per second. So it's basically like 3 archers, isn't it? Or maybe 4 archers. Like 4 archers. Brutal. And because he is on these 2 TCs, obviously has that insane wood eco because he's going for these Manticores. Means he's got enough to put the farms down. And this is what I mean. The special damage is insane. It's just such a good defensive option. And Chasing the Sun is going to have to run back. Pegasus is sitting here. Does see this. And that is when the Underworld Passage comes in. And the Manticores, they don't even have their special up. Look how much damage they do. The beauty of this as well is if Chasing the Sun still wants to pressure this side, the Manticores just jump back. Absolutely no problem. Also, the bulk of the units are still here. Raiju is coming in to deal with this gold mine, but Odysseus, he has had that buff we mentioned, and he's doing pretty well. Why was that times 10 went down to times 9? Oh, he did have Kopesh of Horus, the upgrade from earlier. And Chasing the Sun, nice kind of side attack here while the Manticores were a little bit far away from the Underworld Passage. But as soon as those bad boys come back in, when these guys are all bunched up, Manticores can get in there with their 4.6 speed. Can they get some damage done? And they do a decent amount, but there is the Thunderburst, the drums in. And if those Onimushas can actually get onto those Manticores, I imagine they go down so quick. One of them getting a little bit lost. Yeah, the units do get a little bit lost when they get jumped up. You just need to remember that you need to micro them properly, and attack move afterwards. It's just a quirk with this God Power that you kind of got to know. And the Restoration is the perfect response just to get these guys back up to a decent amount of HP. Temple coming back. Thought maybe that was a second temple. Maybe if you get the radius kind of like here. Oh, so I guess this would be 20 meters, wouldn't it? So it'd be here for the temple. So if you get a temple here, temple here, start fighting, could be brutal. It's a Peltas. Peltas coming in. We do see some horse archers queued up. And the manticores. The manticores even go raiding because they are just safe. It isn't like Chasing the Sun has a shogun or something like that. If there was a shogun, then this would be, well, it'd be very, very risky, basically. But there is none of that. It's like, so there are some units coming back out, but Mr. coming back round. And actually going to scout exactly what he sees. So there is a gold mine coming here that's still in. And I imagine the front gold mine is probably still fine too. Just from how much gold Chasing the Sun will get just for free. And this is the daimyo hero, so it's basically like the mini shogun. Yeah, 5 manticores. Look at this. Look how quick that regens. It seems weird that this tech is better than the god power, but hey ho. Now the Mista still pressuring. The manticores can pop through whenever they want. The manticores can also use their special as soon as they get through. This is something that didn't used to happen in the old game. It used to refresh all of your special abilities, but that isn't the case now. The manticore's trying to get onto this Yumi Horse Archer backline, just walking through all of that Onimusha fire, but does force back all of those Yumi Horse Archers. We should just focus the Onimushas with the Toxodis on this backline, and does lose a decent amount of manticores, but the Yumi Horse Archers didn't really do too much. There was a solar shield. You can fight through that if you really want to, but didn't focus fire it too much. And nice bit of micro, moving the manticore around, can pop him back through here, no problem. And it means the hero will eventually go down. I think there was a stray villager just got caught out there. But still, after all that, there are 4 manticores in. That's Zeus favor gather rate for you with the 6 villagers on it. And it is getting the Oracle tech, which is a nice bit of line of sight. So a decent one here. Myth units use their special attack more. I mean, if he wants to take his low HP hero back home to heal, he could grab Tail of Cerberus. I think that is where the Heracles is actually going. So he would have sat next to the temple anyway. Maybe just didn't spot that was the exact relic. Because this with manticores is such a good combo. I just think he just didn't spot which relic it was. Definitely would have picked that up if he knew. Now, there's a couple of stray villagers this side, just trying to work the map. A hoplite has found even a wood line here. I imagine this could be a potential gold mine for a bit later on. And all the boys back to heal. Does it do that rate for everybody or like total around? Oh, okay. That's why it seems OP, is because it's doing 1 at a time. It's weird that we barely see this tech, even though the game's been out for a year, but Itachi does manage to spot this 3rd town center going up, so nice little find. Also, yeah, taking down the caribou for whatever reason earlier. And the manticore, they do spot this absolutely massive raid on this side. Definitely not bad raiders. Temple of Healing should be 3 at a time. Okay. Pretty good then. Nice addition of the Shinobis in to kind of take out the Peltas, but if you can get the Capaspis on those, should be fine. And the heroes, I mean, the heroes are just so strong. These are the main damage dealers though. Here they come. They're going to slowly join in. Is he still getting those out? Yeah, still getting the manticores. Also pre-queuing Hera, so you can get some a nice upgrade to make the manticores do even more damage going through Hera. Oof. What a hit. And Chasing the Sun, this is probably the best counter that he has, but as long as the Mysta can keep the manticores away, make sure that there's anything that deals damage that can sit on these things, scare them away. They're quite expensive, yeah. 110 gold. Not ideal to be building normally, but against this amount, you definitely need to. Oh, stray Peltas, that's kind of lose his life. Hera, quarter of the way up. But still with the pressure on, why not? The temple comes back. And back in. As if it's 3 at a time. Yeah, it definitely looks like it is. And I guess the Mister here will be waiting for his lightning storm and then just pressuring with it. Why not? The show match, I don't actually know when it is. I think there was a poster about it. I think I saw it in Soup's Discord. Got about halfway. We got heavy coming in. Sunray. I mean, at this point, the Mister's just so far ahead. But there's no point just going for it now anyway. He even sees that this town center was never grabbed. So, I mean, the villager lead is pretty ridiculous. The Underworld Passage might eventually get taken out. But, I mean, so many units can actually pop through there. Lightning Storm as well, about 20 seconds away. Little cheeky Shinobi raid they're not the worst raiders because they do have a lot of pierce armor. And yeah, the pop through the Raiju doesn't really stand a chance against these poor guys. And again, just a little hot plate raid. Just send a handful of units, and then I assume it's just Lightning Storm. Take the win. Where's the Lightning Storm? Oh, here. on the villagers. Oh, the units running in. Probably not the best idea to go on the back of the Lightning Storm, but I mean, I think the game was done anyway. So Chasing the Sun, kind of just playing it out. Again, this was the second game in their series, so sometimes you just kind of want to sit in the game for just a little bit longer. So that'll be the reason for Chasing the Sun staying in. I don't think at this point he really has anything he can do to get back. We'll have the Monstrous Rage coming in. So yeah, 15% movement speed and extra attack is pretty brutal. So there's Manticores in a second are going to be so scary. And they attack quicker, look at that. Now we've got the nice gold units. I mean, three TCs, fortresses up everywhere. Any chance of Chasing the Sun getting back in, like pushing the Mister off gold in some way, already walled off, fortresses up with a decent amount of villagers. I mean, look how many resources there are. So many resources. The only thing he doesn't have loads of is gold, and that's because he was putting all the fortresses up. There is a last-ditch effort of the 25 favor solar shield, but unfortunately that isn't going to be it, and the Mister does manage to take it. So yeah, it's just a clinical performance basically. If we just go over to the early game, I mean, he just did so well early. Chasing the Sun put so much pressure on, but knowing that he shouldn't take the town center when the Weasel was there, just pulled back. Normally some people would just either change their strategy or even just go for it and just hope that it's fine. Pulls the Jason back, deals with that, then goes to the town center, and then the min defense with 3 units is, yeah, it's what makes him good.